It was announced at the Game Awards last year in December, but we have heard very little about any sort of progress in regards to Naughty Dog's brand new IP, the first one that they've delivered since The Last of Us back in 2013, and we are getting, another girl boss centric game, and this one just looks so repulsive that outside of the most ardent shills, like, nobody's defending this stuff. Like, this just looks like a dead on arrival game if ever there was one. But hey, I guess what it has going for it for the Naughty Dog suck-offs that are still out there is, well, at least Neil Druckmann isn't going to have to split his attention between different projects. He's very much going to be working on this one, but the last time we heard anything going on with Druckmann, when he departed the Last of Us series after he tanked in another medium with his magnum opus, very wild how that happens. It just must be all of those bigoted TV watchers, right? Yeah. Has nothing to do with you, Neil, but you're focusing specifically on Intergalactic and its story. So for as much as I see this headline, Naughty Dog's new game, Intergalactic, getting close to launch, suggests a job ad, we have heard, nothing formal out of Naughty Dog since December. I don't think them as a studio are scheduled to be at any of the big remaining conferences throughout the rest of the year. I don't think they're going to be at Gamescom, or did Gamescom already take place? It's such a non-entity, I don't really care. Nothing ever makes the headlines out of that one. They're not going to be at TGS, so are we going to get another trailer at the Game Awards again? I don't really care. I'm not looking forward to this because we have seen some plot leaks before, and they look, just, oh my god, oh look at that. Another allegory for Christians bad. Ooh, very edgy, Cuckman. And you're trying to run this late 2010s, early 2020 shield with your casting of a strong, empowered, bald female with a terrible disposition, thinking that that'll go ahead and shield you from criticism once again. Just like a true male feminist, after all. Stand up for women, but when it's convenient, throw them under the bus. Good stuff. But even with all of those compounding factors, it still could be a decent game, and I'd be willing to give it a shot if it was. It's just, there's a little thing called pattern recognition that human beings are awfully good at, and as somebody who, before Neil got his full hands all over Naughty Dog, used to be quite an ardent supporter of that studio. I really love the Uncharted games quite a bit. Crash Bandicoot, it was probably, Crash 2, I think, was the first game that I ever played on the PlayStation. It was either that or Spyro, but yeah. Still, I have quite a soft spot for Naughty Dog in my heart because, they put out some banger titles. And then, Neil weaseled his way into the writer's room. He forced out Amy Hennig. He got his co-creator on The Last of Us so infuriated with the process of making, part 2, that he quit the business. And so, Intergalactic, if and when it ever does come out, we'll read some of this article right here, but in hearing that Neil is still writing the game, I think that it's still going to be a while away, even though that it's been in development since 2020. So if it's been in development for that long, we know that it's going to be a holdover in the most part of all of the worst aspects of the political leanings that were going on during that time. So brace for impact for this atrocious game whenever it does come out. 26, I'm guessing 27 at the absolute earliest. But he is also egotistical enough to think that he could probably compete with Grand Theft Auto 6 and make it out the other side okay. But a new job listing seems to suggest that Naughty Dog's next game is a lot closer to release than previously suspected. So at the time it was said that the game has been in development for several years, which hopefully means it'll be out on the PlayStation 5 or 6 at this point, in either 26 or 27, with a new job listing suggesting it could be sooner rather than later. Sony has said nothing about the release date, but Naughty Dog is hiring for someone to help put together promotional material for its games. And that's interesting. The job listing for a gameplay capture artist was spotted on Naughty Dog's careers website rather. It shows the studio is in need of someone for creating fresh, unique, and exciting video and still image assets from using public-facing campaigns via capturing them directly from Naughty Dog's entire catalog of games. Oh, interesting. So I'm kind of wondering, because we also heard, oh god, now I'm referencing that old video from a few months back, but Naughty Dog has multiple projects in development, so I'm wondering if they aren't working because, how many times has The Last of Us been ported to PC? But I kind of hope we're going to be getting a proper re-release for the first 3 Uncharted games, because I think you can get Uncharted 4, which there's a really good idea that's there because Amy Hennig wrote the story outline and then Druckmann came in and fucked it all up. Putting in stupid Nadine, what a terrible character. And then swapping out, Nate having a son to having a daughter because reasons. But that and the much maligned Lost Legacy DLC is the only thing that you can get on PC. So yeah, if it's across the entire catalog, I mean, repackaging the Uncharted games to get them on PC, the first three, I mean, like that would be like, that's easy money. Like that's the one thing that Naughty Dog could do that would actually be well received by the audience. But also, like, okay, you're capturing footage for all of their games, so I'm just kind of thinking that we're going to be getting another trailer, probably at the Game Awards. I think that that's a fairly safe bet. But yeah, admittedly, the position covers all of Naughty Dog's games, yeah. And it does have at least one other game in development, but it hasn't been properly announced yet. And with Neil also saying earlier this year as well that, yeah, don't get your hopes up for The Last of Us Part 3 because I would imagine, and the way that Sony is getting rid of studios, like they're trying to do a pretty bad Microsoft impression, I wouldn't be surprised if Naughty Dog hasn't been told to ship up or get ready to ship out. Because The Last of Us Part 2's PC release, it's remastered, yeah, didn't exactly do all that well, and franchise recognition and franchise fatigue for that, yeah, it's reached its all-time high. Like, there's nobody that's going to be watching Season 3 of the show, and it's going to be a couple of years away, at least for the launch of the PS6, so you're going to have to wait a little while longer to remaster The Last of Us again. So, yeah, the Intergalactic is probably like Naughty Dog's last chance to inspire any hope from the audience. And honestly, it's yeah, it hasn't inspired anything, to be completely honest. And the one person who has been out there, oh my god, because what was that also? Yeah, this year as well. Bald Jade, one of Abby's lackeys, Tati Gabrielle, the titular Heretic Prophet, or at least the lead actress in that terrible game. She was talking about how Neil helped with dealing with toxic fandom. Well, here's the misnomer. There's nobody who's a fan of Intergalactic at this point. Nobody's even a fan of Naughty Dog anymore. But yeah, she's running her mouth once again, saying and talking about the hatred and controversy Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, got, and why it's motivated her to go even harder working on the game. The same people who were hating it are going to play the game, and guess what? They're gonna love it, so they can be mad. I mean, that's very interesting, but you want to talk about, oh, I don't know why any of this hate comes around. Gee, does anybody remember the first thing that she tweeted out right after the game was announced? Because, yeah, back at the Game Awards, The Witcher 4 came out, and boy, CD Projekt Red, while they haven't directly gone and attacked anybody, they've called some people liars that have just gone on to be proven correct. But yeah, when The Witcher 4 came out, and it's like, how is Ciri a Witcher? A little thing called the Trial of the Grasses. But yeah, now we don't have to worry about that right now, because yeah, in so much as we're speculating about the release of Intergalactic, yeah, Witcher 4 is still going to be quite a few years away on that one. But yeah, when she comes out and then on her official Instagram account tweets shit like this, yeah, I wonder why there is quote unquote hatred for this upcoming title, because you're being openly antagonistic. But yes, while the game still may be years away, leading actress Tati Gabrielle recently shared her experience filming her part as the bounty hunter Jordan A. Munn. Just uninspired naming too, just terrible. From Naughty Dog director and studio chief Neil Druckmann. It's a different medium, Gabi told YouTube channel Hot Corn. I really appreciate Neil Druckmann and the way he directs me through the game as well. I appreciate the way that he has done games by making them very grounded despite in these fantastical sort of worlds. Yo, he's done one fucking game. He was a late addition to Uncharted 4, and yeah, The Last of Us Part 2 was his only game. And he stripped that game of all of the science fiction aspects that made the first game very engaging and interesting. But yeah, okay. Gabrielle went on to describe wearing in motion captures. Yeah, I don't really care, bro. In a separate interview with Super Guida, sure, Gabrielle addressed the backlash and online hate against her character. It's just, I've seen, yeah, backlash, sure, I'll give you that one, but online apathy is about where I see it, because everybody just looks at that and goes, yeah, it's gonna fail. But yes, as she said that it motivated her to work even harder on her performance before sharing a prediction about the game's reception. Same people that are hating on it are gonna play the game, and guess what? They're gonna love it, so they can stay mad. But yeah, she worked on the Uncharted movie that nobody remembers, and she was Nova in Last of Us Season 2, and she's probably going to be a part of Season 3, where she will be equally as ignored as she will be with the release of Intergalactic. Because here's the thing, man, when was the last time this strategy ever worked? By saying, oh yeah, all of those haters are just going to buy the game anyway, so it doesn't really much matter what happens. Didn't work for Avowed, didn't work for Dragon Age, didn't work for Assassin's Creed Shadows. The list goes on, and eventually, when this game does get released and Naughty Dog moves on to their next project, which, if it isn't an Uncharted remastered collection, apparently Uncharted 5, which fuck I don't want, is in development at Naughty Dog and will feature Cassie, yeah, Nate and Elaine's kid, and Nate's brother. Great. It'll be helmed by the co-director of Uncharted: Lost Legacy. Oh, fuck me in the ass. This shit's gonna suck dick. Just like how Tati Gabrielle got the job. Well, not Neil Cuckman's dick, because I think he's built like a Ken doll down there. So some metaphorical, theoretical dick. Because Lord knows it isn't her acting talent that got her brought on for those Naughty Dog productions. And hopefully somebody performs a fatality on her character in Mortal Kombat 2. That'd be great. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consmile. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.